Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's the TV One Dating reality show series, The One, episodes 3 through 5. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and you make sure to leave your questions and comments down below, and limited commercials to not ruin your flow. The next day, Ashley and Brent joke about the nightcap freestyle battle, and Ashley is a little worried about her decision. Although Steve did call to apologize for his behavior, he can't wait to get to know her better and show his true personality. Ashley was pleased that Steve apologized and was accountable for his actions. They have a surprise visitor, and it's singer, talk show host Selena Johnson. She shares a song and a story about how she met her husband and how important it is to represent and present yourself with expectations up front. Now it's time for everyone to go off on their dates. Ashley wants someone who works out and takes care of themselves. It's a part of her lifestyle and it makes you feel better. Jason arrives and he already knows that he's ready to work out, but laughs that he needs to work out a little more. He loves Ashley's look and wants to get to know her better. Marcus arrives with flowers but is a little embarrassed as there's nowhere to place them. Ashley says to production that I don't like flowers. I feel they're a waste of money, but I give him an A for effort because he didn't know. They attempt a difficult exercise to start, the ninja warp wall. Marcus takes a stab at it, and it's not as easy as it looks. Now Jason makes an attempt and tries not only to hold the pose longer, but jump higher, which he starts to regret. He's beginning to shake, but holds the pose for 20 seconds. Jason is now confident as he thinks he dominates Marcus, and he has more stamina. The next event is the vertical jump, as Jason almost reaches the top. When the workout is over, Ashley is connecting more with Jason, but wonders if Marcus can break out of his quiet demeanor. When she leaves, the guys joke how they're not only the best connection for Ashley, but Jason feels that he looks much better. Brent is ready for today's dates, and he has some fun before the ladies arrived on the trampolines. Jazzy meets Brent and is pleased to see him so far. She loves his salt and pepper hair. Tiffany arrives and everyone is ready to get jumping. Brent wants to play a game to see who can get to him the quickest. It's a pretty tight race and a tie it seems, and now it's time for some good old-fashioned dodgeball. They all could use some practice, but it's all laughs and fun. It's a quick sit down with the ladies. Tiffany has had several situationships and is ready for some serious togetherness. Jazzy wants to get her career going first, and she admitted that it took a toll on her personal life, but she wants to be a wife. Tiffany has an 18-year-old son and feels that she's learned a lot about true love because she has a son, while Jazzy wants children in the future. Everyone had great dates, and overall Ashley is digging Jason more and hopes that there will be more conversations at their nightcap. Brent feels that he needs more time with both women to make a valid decision of who he likes more, Jazzy or Tiffany. At the dating house, everyone starts to mingle, and Marcus wants to know where Jason is so he can flirt more with Ashley, only to be interrupted by Tiffany. She jokes more with Ashley and her date rather than Brent. Brent shares with Jazzy that family is important to him, and in his last relationship, there wasn't enough understanding and they just weren't compatible. Tiffany seems to be more disengaged and frustrated when it came to talking with Brent, and it's very noticeable. Marcus's last relationship didn't work out because he was given an ultimatum concerning marriage, and he didn't want to be forced. Before the conversation gets deeper, Jason arrives with even more flowers. Marcus is upset that Jason took his idea with the flowers thing, and he didn't even take the price tag off. Jason then challenges everyone to not sip their drinks, but gulp them. But he's the only one that engages in this idea, and he even requests another drink. Marcus is now relaxed as he doesn't have to do much. He would just let Jason crash and burn on his own. Tiffany, on the other hand, is digging Jason and his party mode. The theme of the party is Black excellence, but Ashley and Brent are starting to believe that some didn't get the memo. Brent wants Jason to keep drinking to see how bad he's gonna get. Jason keeps shouting to the chef to keep the shots coming. Marcus and Jazzy get into a debate about marriage. He feels that his purpose is to make sure his future wife is okay, and she does the same thing. But Jazzy feels that one's life can't be controlled by what someone else wants. Brent wants to break the debate for a while and say grace and enjoy their dinner. Jason jumps right to it, saying grace, and when he does, he requests another drink. Jazzy calls the room and wants to ask the fellas about their relationship with God. Brent says Psalms 82:6 says, "We are all gods and children of the Most High." He believes in God for sure. Jason says, "I love God, I trust God, I love God," all while staring into Tiffany's eyes. He goes on reminiscing that he was married about 6 years ago and cheated on his wife, and he made the mistake of being a hot boy all the time, and he was selfish. His tipsy talk and slurred language is a little embarrassing at the table. Gladly, Tammy and Kirk come in at the right time and share a hot moment biting into a strawberry. Then Jason cues to Tiffany that they're next. Kirk and Tammy stop the madness and want everyone to just step away and breathe. Ashley feels that Marcus was a little weird and Jason was all over the place. Tiffany was all over the place as well, while Jazzy was iffy about Brent. There wasn't that much interaction, and Tiffany seems to be a little bit more into Jason. It's time to bring in the ladies so Brent can make a decision on who will join him in the one mansion. The person he selects is Jazzy. Now it's time to bring in the fellas. Tammy wants to know flat out from Jason, "Do you have an interest in Tiffany or Ashley?" And Jason says Ashley. He was just filling the genre with his slurred speech. Marcus says flat out, "It's a competition, and I was letting Jason be himself and drink. That allowed me to step back and gain more attention from Ashley." Ashley steps in and is disappointed that both guys really didn't get a chance to talk to her as expected. Who she chooses to come to the mansion is... And that's the end of the episode. Stay tuned for episode 4. The tension is thick in the room as Ashley has to make her decision between Jason and Marcus to continue the journey in the one mansion. The person she selects to move into the mansion is no one. There wasn't a connection with Marcus, and with Jason, he was into Tiffany. Jason says to production that he's surprised Ashley didn't pick him because look at him, I'm divine. Tiffany, holla at me, give me a call. Everyone is so proud of Ashley, and Marcus's strategy didn't work. Just to sit back and not do anything and let someone else crash and burn. Britt meets with Stephanie and Maika for some golf. Maika feels that she's a good catch for Brent and sees that he's a good guy. Stephanie is no competition. There's small talk as Stephanie and Brent have something in common. They are the oldest of their siblings, while Maika is the middle child of 9 children, 4 older and 4 younger. They talk more serious, and Maika's 2 older siblings passed away, one from a heart attack and the other passed from a car accident. They all agree that grief is tough, but all one can do is take things day by day. Brent reflects his grandparents. They were together for over 70 years, 94 and 91. He admired them. Unfortunately, Brent's dog passed away and it hurt as they were so close for about 9 years. He tried to move on to get another doggy, but unfortunately, the puppy passed away due to heart complications. Maika is interested in getting to know Brent more because intimate conversations are the key to a future relationship. Now it's time for a little competition. Whomever can hit the ball the furthest will gain more one-on-one time with Brent. Stephanie says to production she's very competitive and an athlete at heart. It's time to get into the game, and she's in game mode and wins with flying colors. Ashley meets with Shavar, and he's very pleased to see Ashley. And great conversation begins about throwing on the wheel, also known as working with clay. It's been a while since he's worked with clay, but he's excited for another lesson. Ashley is surprised that he's 42 as he doesn't look his age. He appears very young. Addy B arrives and he's also ready to get his hands dirty with some clay. He feels Ashley looks amazing, has a wonderful smile, and seems very chill. He even jokes that Ashley and Addy B sounds nice together. The clay instructor instructs that the clay is like a woman's body, making sure to take your time, get it wet, and make sure you softly stick your finger in the hole. Ashley tells the guys to pay attention, and Ashley is loving the innuendos. The conversations start to flow. Shavar loves to listen to old school music while smoking cigars, and ADB loves fitness, going to the movies, and reading. For Ashley, a book has to really be interesting to sit down for a read. She explains that since she's a chemist, a good book read would be about preservatives and beauty products. Those would be her top choices. ADB is Nigerian, and his father was a science professor. Even his dad had a little song. You can never do science without chemistry. They laugh, and he makes a production note that the date is going well, and Ashley feels vindicated that the date makes up for a terrible nightcap with Jason and Marcus. Shavar excuses himself to step away to the restroom, and ADB takes a moment to chat. They have something in common, as their fathers had troubles with drinking. They later got it together, and their fathers have been great. It's a true testimony. Shavar returns, and they all laugh because they were so focused on getting to know Ashley that everyone forgot about making any pottery. Ashley hugs both guys at the end of the date, and she's happy that both of the men were attractive, engaging, and fun. She can't wait to see them later at the nightcap. Brent and Ashley share the news of their dates. Ashley really liked both guys. They're neck and neck when it comes to who she likes more. At the nightcap, it's an evening of wine tasting and chocolate. Shavar arrives, and the warm hugs bring her smiles. And with great timing, Maika, Stephanie, and ADB arrive. ADB can't help but to blush and admire Ashley's dress. Ashley is loving how both guys look well-dressed and smell amazing. The wine tasting begins, and the wines for the evening are from Black-owned companies. Great conversation begins as Ashley wants to know from everyone, how are they preparing for marriage and the one? Maika shares that she's been wrapping herself in the Lord's Word and learning as much as she can spiritually, so when the right guy comes along, she'll be ready. Stephanie shares that she's in grad school, a mother in corporate America, and she doesn't have time for foolishness. Maika also has 2 children, so she understands where Stephanie is coming from. ADB for the last 2 years has made sure to take care of mental health and is making sure that he releases any hurt from past relationships. Shavar is making sure to surround himself with people who share the same life goals and makes sure to continue to move in that direction. Ashley understands. She's also been on the path of healing. Shavar points out that unfortunately in the Black community, there is a perpetual bachelorhood with men in their 40s. It's sad how a lot of men are hitting up the clubs looking for the right one. When does it stop? When are people getting serious? The table agrees. Brent wants to know, how does everyone feel about privacy when it comes to relationships? Shavar says, I don't believe in going through a woman's phone, and jokes that even if a woman says, hey baby, bring me my phone out of my purse, nope, I'm gonna bring her entire purse instead. Here you go, baby. And the table gets a good laugh out of it. The Franklins arrive, and they bring the energy with dancing and even more laughs. Before they can get into any news, Stephanie wants to take control and takes a step away with Brent, some one-on-one time that she was promised. Kirk wants to know if Maika feels intimidation from Stephanie, and she's not intimidated at all. She knows that she'll get some one-on-one time later. Brent and Stephanie talk briefly about health, and she does admit that her eating habits aren't that great. She's got to have her morning pig and realizes that as she gets older, she's got to take better care of herself and even some more exercise. Brent takes a moment to be honest. He's always been open to dating women with children as long as there's no baby daddy drama. Unfortunately, Stephanie does have some hiccups when it comes to co-parenting with her child's father. It does need work. At the table, ADB expresses that he likes Ashley, and one thing that he likes is the relationship with her dad. It didn't hinder her growth when it came to relationships and healing. Shavar loves that Ashley is the perfect blend of serious and fun. Kirk and Tammy notice that this date night is going very well compared to the other hot mess of a nightcap. Maika politely enters the room, and now it's time for her one-on-one time with Brent. Stephanie and Brent cheers to a great conversation, and Maika has gifts for Brent. The first gift, since Brent meditates, it's a book of collections of meditation affirmations. The second gift is dedicated to Brent's deceased fur babies, a frame reading, "No longer by my side, but forever in my heart." Brent holds back tears and is very thankful for her thoughtful gifts. At the table, Kirk wants to know how Stephanie is feeling after the one-on-one time with Brent. She feels that he has a lot of options and he's a great guy, but hopefully he's a great match for her as well. She doesn't want to be chosen, she wants to be able to choose as well. Tammy can't help but to give her a high five on that comment. Stephanie says to production that so far she feels that there's a connection with Brent, and hopefully he can see that she has a great heart and that she will go the distance when it comes to a meaningful relationship. Brent and Maika hug after such a wonderful one-on-one session, and they return to the kitchen holding hands. Kirk and Tammy say to production that Brent should be careful when considering a single woman with children because single mothers don't play. Now it's time to talk to Ashley and Brent alone to discuss their dates and first impressions. Everyone agrees tonight, everyone seems to be great. Ashley loves both guys. Brent feels that the ladies seem like a lot of fun and they're a lot alike. Kirk warns that dating a single mother has more limitations in what they'll put up with. And Tammy even says, I had a child when I first dated Kirk. Single mothers are like a package. They bring in the ladies and Brent has a tough decision. He takes a breather as both women are both so amazing. Who he selects to join him in the one mansion is Maika. Brent says to production that he's never dated a woman with more than one child, but she's an amazing woman. Stephanie gives hugs and says her goodbyes and jokes with Maika as she wants an invite to the wedding. Stephanie says to production that Maika brought gifts and she was chosen. I guess that was a good move. She wanted to find the one, but is still hopeful for love. Brent was taken back by Maika because he hasn't felt that way about somebody in a while. She was so caring and listened to the things that he talked about that interested him. Now it's time to bring in the fellas. Ashley also has a tough decision to make. Both guys are amazing, handsome, and hold great conversation. The man who she chooses to join her in the one mansion is both of them. Tammy and Kirk are proud of Ashley, and Tammy coins her emotions as a proud auntie. Now there are only 2 more spots left for both Brent and Ashley to join them in the one mansion. And that is the end of the episode. Stay tuned for episode 5. It's a fresh start and a new day as Kirk and Tammy bring in family therapist Dr. Sherry Blake. It's time to take things to another level. Kirk shares that he experienced childhood trauma and abandonment. He's been in therapy since the age of 18 and is proud of it. It's all about growth and learning. Brent shared that he's been married before. He was 24 years old. The marriage didn't work and it took him a while to recover from the split. His mom was also married and divorced twice. He saw divorce and the struggles of marriage. He didn't grow up seeing a lot of warmth and love. His dad wasn't always around either. Ashley shares that she's dated for a long time and those relationships felt more like she was settling. Those relationships were ended not by her, and if they didn't break up, then she would have stayed, knowing the relationship wasn't great. Dr. Blake points out that a lot of people stay in unhealthy relationships. It's important to know oneself before getting to know someone else. Also in the Black community, there's a saying, we raise our girls, we love our sons. So the expectations and relationship responsibilities for young men are not placed on them. We have to learn that our experiences shape who we are, and we have to forgive ourselves for the things we didn't know. Brent and Ashley know that they must press forward, not hold on to the past, and be honest as much as possible when it comes to what they want. It's another round of dates, and Brent meets with Mika as she's loving the salt and pepper hair. It's so curly and cute. Ashley arrives and she loves the salt and pepper hair bae as well. Brent says to production that I know this date will be interesting because both of these ladies have brought their beauty and their curves. Both women do extremely well in the rock climbing and everyone is very friendly. Both women want something special. Ashley has a 15-year-old son and is open to having more children. Brent is learning more and more when it comes to the character of people and not just looking at the physical. He wants children, and if he doesn't have children, it's the last of his family line. Now it's time for a little competition. The person who reaches the top of the wall the fastest gets one-on-one time with Brent. The winner of the game is Mika, and she's excited. She's coining Brent already as her man. Ashley meets with Kenny, and Kenny is taken back by her beauty. He tells production that he can't help but to let his imagination run wild. I can see her wearing some stilettos. He tells Ashley that he's always learned to never come to a date empty-handed. He says that he'll be right back, and when he returns, he has a gift. He says that he doesn't give flowers because they die, and Ashley says yes and agrees with him, giving him a high five. The gift is a Coach bag, and Ashley is greatly impressed. Kenny, you didn't. His gift gives true intentions, but Ashley says to production, his gesture is nice, but it gives off sugar daddy vibes. Gladly, Dante arrives, breaking the awkwardness. Dante likes that Ashley is dressed just right for the date, not showing too much, but at the same time being sexy. Conversations begin. Kenny is an engineer, but prefers to claim being creative and changing lives for the better. He even scoffs at Dante that he won't be able to follow up his career and he'll just let him play pool. Kenny has been married before for 8 years and decided that having children wasn't for him. Dante responds with humbleness, saying that he's a lawyer and a sports agent. He also has an 11-year-old son. Ashley says to production that there wasn't a connection with Kenny, and his age made it difficult for her to engage in conversation. When Ashley has a side conversation with Dante, the energy doesn't feel like there's a connection. It's just bland conversation and about him co-parenting. After such a great day with Adibi and Shavar, Dante and Kenny seem lackluster. Maybe there'll be more engagement during the nightcap. The date house is decorated and ready as there are finger foods and amazing drinks set up as a bar. Ashley arrives and brings some wine from a Black-owned company, retired Raiders football player Charles Woods. Everyone arrives and enjoys the cocktails and ambiance. Ashley notices that the ladies are very lively and nice, while Kenny is engaging and Dante is very chill. What better way to turn things up than with some Twister? But there's a little catch. The spin board does read more than which foot or hand goes where. There are certain commands. Ashley calls out to Kenny to shake his booty and then place his left hand on yellow. Kenny wasn't shy and even twerked to the best of his ability, but kept twerking for a while. Ashley says to production, I've never seen a man twerk like that and even arch his back. Eventually, when he stopped, he then placed his hand on yellow as instructed. Now it's Brent's turn and he wants Ashley to give him a kiss on the cheek. Now Mika gets to instruct Brent to kiss her on the cheek. The fun continues and Dante has to do a yoga pose while taking a shot. Brent has to smack Mika on the butt and Mika has to twerk in front of Brent. Kenny tries to be funny and saying since Brent is having such good luck, it's time for him to smack him on his butt. It's like someone hit a record player and it's pretty odd in the room. After a little bit of silence and awkward faces, Kenny quickly says, I'm just kidding. Now it's Ashley's turn and talk about bad timing. Tammy and Kirk walk in, and Kirk says, what in the Magic City is going on? Ashley admits that Dante has nice character, but there isn't any chemistry. Brent speaks with Mika and Ashley. Both women desire the same things, partnerships, building a family. Kenny sits with Ashley and the conversation starts off pretty well until he tells her he wrote her a letter years ago. He even has a presentation entitled Dear Future Wife by Kenny Rogers. The video starts off pretty loud and even catches everyone's attention. Dear future wife, the love of my life, you are my best friend. Everyone starts to wonder the same thing. What's going on? The video is so loud and goes on and on while Kenny is focused on Ashley. After 4 minutes, the mood of the house feels embarrassing. Then 6 minutes pass. Then 8 minutes. Yikes. Kirk comes in to say hey and is a little confused. Excuse me, sir. What was that? Kenny proudly says, that was a letter to my future wife. Kirk can't help to respond, but wow. Okay. Continue on. He even gives a few taps on the shoulder of kudos before walking away. Kenny is so proud of his work that he gifts Ashley the USB. She keeps her calm and tells him that it was creative and very thoughtful. Ashley says to production that really felt forced and awkward. But it came from his heart. Now it's time to sit down and give the deets to Kirk and Tammy. Of course, Kirk starts off with the joke asking, "Did y'all wear protection while y'all was playing that twisted game?" Ashley and Brent do report that no one got preggo and everyone had fun. Now a decision has to be made. Brent feels that both women are amazing and he has another difficult decision. Ashley did have fun with the guys, but the video and the purse from Kenny was strange. Kirk jokes that the USB Kenny gave Ashley is probably a tracking device, so be careful. Both guys come into the room and Ashley is very straightforward. She had a great time with the fellas, but she has to make a choice of who will join her in the one mansion. Her choice is Dante. After the selection, Ashley notes that Dante is a little bit more laid back. There wasn't really a physical connection, but feels over time maybe he'll open up more into getting to know her. He seems like an amazing person with his career and life goals. Now it's time for Brent to make his selection, but feels that he needs a little bit more time with both women, but he needs everyone's help. Kirk suggests that Ashley pick, and that sounds like a plan. Ashley feels that this particular woman blends more with Brent, and this person will join him in the one mansion. It will be Mika. Brent feels that Ashley's decision was great, but it's bittersweet as he wanted to get to know Ashley a little more. Brent is looking forward to spending more time with the ladies selected so far in the mansion. There's only one more date. Ashley and Brent will have their final 6. And that is the end of the episode. Stay tuned for episode 6.